Good morning. This is Go Figure Farm. It's July 27th, Saturday, nice sunny Saturday. This is the first video I've made in a long time, but just wanted to talk a little bit about a tree that I have that I like a lot, and every year I like more and more. It's called Unk Spain. And it's an early variety, very cold hardy. We had lows of we had 3 nights between 8 and 10 degrees Fahrenheit last winter, and I did protect some of the lower limbs on this tree by pinning them down. You can see I still haven't removed some of these bags of soil that I used to pin them down with. I also use rocks and mulch in some cases. I should have done a little better job of pruning this thing, but it's looking good. You can see how productive this is. There's this limb that I neglected to prune off that's like hugging the ground, and it's covered with figs. So just to give you an idea just how productive, there's a fig at nearly every node, it seems like. I'm going to do a taste test of this fig here, which is just getting ripe. I think it's probably about optimal. Maybe you could use one more day, but I'm going to go ahead and taste it. So it's July 27th, and this is the earliest in-ground tree to ripen ever that I can think of. I don't think I've ever had an in-ground tree ripen fruit this early. Part of that has probably to do with the fact that we've had a very hot summer and relatively dry. I think probably other varieties are going to be a bit earlier too. But nevertheless, this is the first out of my approximately 70 in-ground varieties. This is the first to ripen fruit. So I'm going to go ahead and taste that fig. So I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so this is the fruit I just picked off that I showed earlier. I just picked it off. I weighed it. It's right around 50 grams. Which is decent size. This is not a small fig. It's about medium, I guess, maybe slightly bigger than medium. It has a kind of a solid feel. It has a somewhat open eye. This particular fruit, I think it varies from fruit to fruit, but that hasn't really been a problem as far as humidity and splitting and that sort of thing. It seems to do pretty well in that regard. Yeah, that's interesting. So this is, it's a little more amber than I remember it being before in other seasons, and it could be something to do with the first fig. I remember them being, in previous years, I remember them being a bit more pink. It's never been a deep red. It's definitely not a deep red sort of pulp, but I'm going to go ahead and taste this one. Very pleasant flavor. I would say about average sweetness, not super sweet. I think it is probably about as ripe as one would want it to get. Maybe just slightly riper, but not much. Maybe a slight melon flavor. Not really so much berry, I would say. Maybe a little bit of berry. Not particularly honey to me. More like melon / berry with moderate sweetness. I would say this is a variety that the flavor is quite pleasant and nice, but it doesn't wow you. But For me, it's a keeper because of all the other features that the variety has for growing here. It's just been super productive, super early, very reliable variety, very cold hardy. So it's one that I definitely recommend for our area, the Mid-Atlantic, here in Maryland, and probably throughout the Northeast, where one can grow figs. I think this would be a good choice. July 27th in the first ripe main crop figs, so that's impressive. So with that, this is Go Figure Farm. Thank you for listening.